Welcome back to the show. May is Better Hearing Month. Here to discuss more, we welcome Dr. Gabby Rodriguez and Ann Mendel-Noel. Ladies, welcome to the show. We've got a little bit more to talk about other than hearing, and I'm excited to get to that. But first of all, why is it so important? Why is hearing so important to our lives?
Well, hearing is so important because it's the gateway to the brain. So the sound comes in through the ears and it gets transferred up to the brain, and then the comprehension and understanding happens in the brain. So if there's not enough input going up to the brain doesn't get a complete signal, and then there's a breakdown. So not only does the ears and hearing bring brain comprehension, but it also is a gateway for balance. Our balance comes from our eyes, our ears, and the bottom of our feet. And just overall communication and socialization is all related to how well we hear.
It's been discussed that if somebody can't hear very well and they sort of kind of go along with the conversation by either a head nod or a smile, but they're really not actively involved, it's very frustrating.
Yeah, frustrating, isolating, which can lead to being a little depressed and anxious. So that's a perfect example of how hearing and listening and all these other aspects of your life are so intertwined with one another.
And so talk to us about how hearing and dementia are related.
So yeah, essentially, if you're not hearing, your brain can't remember what it's not hearing. And just like if you break your arm, put your arm in a cast, you can kind of atrophy over time. If we're not sending the signal through to the ears and to the brain, that entire pathway can kind of atrophy over time, leading to things like dementia, like Alzheimer's, and all these other big scary words that we don't want to mess with.
As you said, it's just like a muscle that has to be worked.
That's exactly right. Yeah, it really craves that stimulation. When it's not getting the stimulation, we see a lot of other breakdown, tinnitus, ringing or buzzing in the ears, imbalance, lack of socialization. So yeah, it's a big one.
Has that discovery been around for a long time? Because it seems like in the last, 20 or so years, the words Alzheimer's and dementia has really spiked. Like you hear those a lot. You didn't used to.
Yeah, I think there's a lot more research here in recent years, just as technologies move forward. We have had bigger breakthroughs as to what we can test and how we can test it to kind of find all these connections. Mm-hmm. And yeah, the thinking used to be that, if your parents had dementia, you're going to get dementia, that's it. But as we're learning, there's so many other things that play a role in overall cognition and brain health.
So because of that, we still have some people that are resistant to wearing hearing aids, mm-hmm. even though you've just rattled off a handful of benefits to proper hearing.
I think
what's the resistance, Ann?
Yeah, I think that the biggest reason is social stigma, right? So people think that hearing aids mean I'm getting old, and that is not the way anymore. The technology has advanced so rapidly. They're getting smaller, they're getting more discreet, but the sound fidelity or the quality is night and day. So before it amplified the sound and it also brought in the background noise. Now we have hearing aids that have AI in them, and not to scare people with artificial intelligence, but it can tell what is speech, which is very spiky, what is background noise, which is steady state, and it lifts the speech to hear through the noise. In the past, the hearing aids and the amplified sound and the speech were together, and now they're getting separated. So the sound fidelity is one thing. I think the other thing, so social stigma, right? So people thought hearing aids were just for old people, and then they didn't realize that we lose our hearing in our 60s and 70s. So we lose our vision in our 40s and 50s, and we lose our hearing in our 60s and 70s. It's a natural part of aging. But in the past, people didn't wear glasses because they didn't want to be called Coke bottle or four eyes. choice. And then contact lenses came out. And then people are like, oh, now I wear glasses socially just because I can. People don't associate a negative experience with it.
Makes me look smart.
Yeah, exactly. And in the same way, hearing aids are the same way. They're about 15, 20 years behind, but they're getting more discreet and they can do a better job. Now we have these AirPods hanging out of our ears and we have Bluetooth devices. So the whole idea about wearing something on your ears isn't as socially negative as it used to be.
Got it. Well, you can't even see when the hearing aids are placed inside the ear.
Right.
Yeah, you really
You
can't.
have no idea.
Yeah.
So what we
wearing them
say
or
is a
not.
hearing aid is much less conspicuous than a hearing loss, right? If you can hear, people don't look in your ears to see
Well,
if you have
that's
something
pretty
in there.
profound.
Right, but if you can't hear and you're saying, huh, what? Or you're smiling when somebody just told you bad news, it's like, I
Lot
noticed
more
you.
obvious.
A little bit more obvious for sure.
I had never thought of that.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that is so true. So, when do people need to come in? At what point?
Yeah, I think that getting a baseline audiogram with an audiologist is important, maybe in your 50s and 60s, even if there's no issues. But listening to your
Just
body.
to find out where you
Yeah,
are.
where are you? Get a good baseline. Now, if your body is giving you ringing or buzzing, that could be your body telling you something. If you're having imbalance, if your family members are saying, why don't you hear me? Or you think everyone around you is a mumbler, maybe we need to check in and remember that you're in control of your own body and stay on top of what you're in control of. Even if everyone is a mumbler, I can't control how you speak to me. I can control what's going on with me and my body.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And so once you have the patient in your office and you're walking them through all of the benefits, does the resistance sort of die down a little bit?
It does, and I think the biggest part is hearing is believing, right?
Right.
So even people who have relatively normal hearing and then have a mild or moderate loss just in the clarity, they hear but they don't understand. Once they demo and put on a hearing aid, they are like, oh my gosh, this is just like you fine-tuned it and it's so sharp and clear, and they don't realize what they miss. And so when you put it back on, they go, oh, the brain says, thank you for my help, I need that. And when you take it off, they're like, oh, I can't believe it. So,
And are they able to use an app on the phone
Absolutely,
to help
yeah.
with the different programs and so forth on the
So they
hearing
can be
aids?
as simple as waking up and putting them on in the morning and forgetting they're there. If tech isn't your jam, they can be as techy as streaming your music and phone calls right through the ears, controlling on your app. And you'll find somewhere in between that scale where they feel comfortable, but we're here to walk you through, every step of the way.
Fabulous.
and that's one of the things that we offer at Amazing Hearing is not only do we do the hearing aids and we fit them properly, and the quality of the products matter. So we do have, quote, Costco priced hearing aids. We just don't have Costco quality hearing aids. So we offer a better quality product that allows even people with normal hearing or near normal who have tinnitus and other issues to find relief. But in addition to that, because we are audiologists, we believe in oral rehab or hearing therapy. So we have therapy classes, hearing classes with a speech pathologist that allows our patients to get the most out of their hearing. She teaches them lip reading and other kind of compensatory strategies in order to hear better.
Wonderful, wonderful. Oh, all right, well, hopefully our viewers will go in and see you because this is all
Hearing
state-of-the-art.
care is health care.
Yes, absolutely. I do want to touch on your recent trip to Africa. But before then, we want to encourage our viewers to bring you recyclables.
Yes, we accept aluminum cans and plastic bottles that have the California CRB logo on them, no glass, but they can drop them off at the office at any time between 9 and 5, Monday through Friday, and all of those get collected, and then the monies from that go towards water wells in Uganda.
And tell us about your recent trip.
So in the recent trip, Dr. Gabby helped cover the office so that I could go. We have a great team there. But we did a women's conference. We gave medical care. We are building a school. We are teaching pastors. It was just a phenomenal experience that I'm glad to be a part of.
That's amazing.
And we also brought back items from Uganda that are in our office. So if anybody needs a little something special for somebody, we have items for sale.
Yes. Wonderful. I'm sure they're all handmade and just precious little artifacts.
They're beautiful, for sure. Our patients love them.
Are you framing any and putting them on the walls?
Oh, we have them all over. Yes, you'll have to come in and see.
I will. I will. Well, speaking of coming in, where exactly are you located?
We are in the Trader Joe's parking lot, so just down the street, Laguna Hills, Trader Joe's Shopping Center, and we are there Monday to Friday, 9 to 5.
So just call and make an appointment and
Yep.
come on in.
Absolutely.
Get your hearing checked.
Yes.
Very important for brain health.
Mm-hmm.
Ladies, thank you so much for being with us today. Always appreciate it. Pleasure.
Thank
you.
And coming up next, we'll be talking with the Theater Guild, so stay with us.